Hey everyone, it's really nice to be back with you guys. I hope that these videos are providing some benefit and some moments of peace for you. I hope that we've gotten through another week of our shelter in place with our health and with some connection with our people. And I'm sending you all a lot of well wishes for this next week. Speaking of that, I thought that this week we would focus in on loving kindness practice, which is how we ended the practice last week. We took like maybe a minute or two and did a little bit of that. So I wanted to do a little bit of a deeper dive. It's still pretty shallow. We're not going to go too far into it because I want to keep the videos short, and also it's thousands and thousands year old practice. So I'm not even going to pretend like I'm going to teach you all about it right now, but I am going to just go over some of the basic principles of loving kindness practice and one of the basic methods for practicing it in your meditation. So loving kindness, that term is translated. It's an English translation from the word metta or Maitra, depending on, there's different Buddhist lineages and also different geographical, different languages of people who practice Buddhism. So it is loving kindness is a Buddhist concept, but the cool thing about loving kindness is that you don't have to be a Buddhist in order to benefit from the practice. Loving kindness is one translation. Another translation for this concept is unconditional friendliness, loving friendliness. But all of these words are kind of pointing to the general sense of the practice, or the felt experience of the practice. There are a lot of ideas and concepts and opinions about what love is, and I'm not going to pretend to tackle that right now. But what I will say is that we tend to love things that we also like or that we prefer. And loving kindness or unconditional friendliness, or however you want to call it, is very different than that. It's non-preferential, so it has nothing to do with what we prefer or what we like or what we don't like. The way that I understand loving kindness is that it is a deep wish for all beings, this being and all other beings, to be happy, safe, well, peaceful, at ease, whatever words work for you, which we'll talk about in a second, but those are some of the common ones. So it's very vast, and it's very impersonal in a way. It's not, I like you, and so I love you, and so I want you to be happy. It comes from a deeper knowing that if we could create a situation in which all beings were at ease, because we're interconnected, all beings would benefit. And so that's my understanding of it. And that understanding comes from, my, the way I learned it, my worldview, my opinions about things. So you don't have to share my worldview or that exact understanding in order to reap the benefits, which is another thing I really like about the practice, is that it really does you can use it in all different belief systems, all different, it crosses all the lines. It can cross all the lines. Anybody can use this practice and find benefit from it. But that's the way that I understand it. Again, as this deep well-wishing for myself and for others. It's definitely not a way to control, right? So we don't, it's easy to maybe think of someone that I'm experiencing difficulty with which we'll talk about in a second, and think, may you be better. May you do things differently, right? So it's not a way to try to change people's behavior or myself. It's also not something, and this I think is really important to say, because we have a tendency to be really hard on ourselves, is it's not like a self-improvement tool, right? It's not like, okay, well, I'm going to set the intention to be happy, peaceful, easeful, healthy, strong, and if I don't meet all those goals today, I've failed. Let's put that to the side, because that's not really what we're doing here. What we're doing here is finding that kind of tender kindness towards ourselves and others, and that kind of innate part of us that doesn't really want anybody else to suffer. And we are growing that sense, growing that feeling for ourselves. So hopefully that made sense. So the way that there's different ways of practicing loving kindness. The way that we're going to do today is using phrases. And so these are phrases that we are going to make the focus of our meditation. So when we were doing our mindfulness meditation, we had our breath as the focus. And we came back to the breath, or maybe back to the feeling of our body on our chair, over and over and over every time our mind wandered. So in today's practice, our minds are still going to wander. And when we notice that they have, we're going to bring them back to the repetition of these phrases. So what are these phrases? One of the things I love about this practice is that these phrases, you have the option to create any phrases of well-wishing that feel true for you. So I'm going to offer my phrases for you to use, but if those don't feel true for you, you can make adjustments. So the phrases that I like to use are, may I be safe and healthy of body. May I be happy and peaceful of mind. May I be safe and protected from harm. And may my life unfold with ease and joy. So I would repeat these phrases over and over in my mind as the focus of my meditation. And sometimes it helps me in the beginning of this practice to imagine myself strong and healthy of body, happy and peaceful of mind, safe and protected from harm. And for some reason, that imagery in my brain can help bring up that feeling, that of well-wish, of kindness, of care. So we're going to say those phrases towards ourselves, and then the way that it works is that we're going to then pick someone else in our minds that we love, who we love. And we're going to direct the phrases towards them. We want to pick someone who's really easy to love. So not someone with whom we have a complicated relationship. Maybe a very young child, or which I'm sure there might be complications there too, because young children can have their moments. But maybe a pet or a teacher, someone that we have a lot of gratitude for, someone that doesn't bring up conflicted feelings. We'll direct our loving kindness towards them. Then we're going to bring up a neutral person. So maybe someone I'm going to figure that out. Someone who you see at the grocery store, the cashier, or someone who's kind of on the periphery of your life, but you have neither very positive nor negative feelings about. And then we're going to bring in a difficult person. We're not going to go like very difficult. We're going to go like, again, someone kind of on the sidelines but that when you think of them, they bring up some minor irritation for you. And then we're going to send that loving kindness out towards all beings everywhere. So that's kind of the progression. We're going to do it in one, maybe 10 to 13 minute sit. But I've spent days on retreat only sending it towards myself and then spending a whole day sending it towards a neutral person. So we're going to do kind of a quicker version so that it becomes accessible to you, right? So that you know that in any moment in your life, you can call these phrases and try to create this sense of well-wishing towards yourself or towards someone else. Sometimes it's a struggle for people to send well wishes towards themselves, and that is understandable, and I can empathize with that. So if you find that even just sending that well wish towards yourself is creating some conflict, then I would just stay really, really simply with, may I find compassion for the fact that I'm struggling. And I would just stay with that phrase until maybe you find a little bit of relief. Okay, so find a comfortable position. We'll start with our body scan and then we'll move into our loving kindness practice. So let's start by taking a few deep breaths together as we normally do. Taking a deep breath in, feeling the belly expand, and exhaling, and letting go of any gripping in our bodies or our minds. Breathing in, and exhaling, releasing, letting go, relaxing. Breathing in, maybe holding for a moment when the breath is full, and then slowly exhaling. And letting the breath find a normal rhythm as we scan our bodies for any tension, starting at the top of our heads, checking our brow, our jaw, just loosening any gripping we find. Moving down into our shoulders, letting our shoulders have a weightedness to them. And moving down through our spine to our belly, letting the belly soften and move with the breath. Checking in with the tips of our fingers, our hands, feeling our hands from the inside out. And before we move to the lower half of our body, just lengthening that spine, finding a position that's lengthened but not rigid. And feeling our seat on the chair, the cushion, letting gravity do its job there. And scanning down through our legs. Feeling our feet on the floor. And feeling our feet like we felt our fingers, feeling them from the inside out. Is there heat? Is there cool? Tingling? Just noticing. Now we're going to start with the repetition of our phrases. I'll repeat some of mine out loud as a guide for you. But again, you can change any words that feel like they don't fit. And you'll repeat those phrases over and over in your mind. So we'll start with, may I be strong and happy. Oh, may I be strong and healthy of body. May I be happy and peaceful of mind. May I be safe and protected from harm. May my life unfold with ease and joy. Repeating those phrases to yourself. Maybe imagining yourself healthy, happy, and safe. When your mind wanders, which it will, that's okay. Just come back to your phrases. May my life unfold with ease and joy. And now we're gonna bring someone up in our mind that we love. Someone or some animal that when we think of them, we feel love in our hearts easily. And we're going to send this loving kindness to them with the repetition of those phrases. May you, or may they, whichever wording feels better for you, may they be strong and healthy of body. May they be happy and peaceful of mind. May they be safe and protected from harm. May their lives unfold with ease and joy. And repeating. When you finished another repetition of those phrases, bring someone to mind that's neutral for you. Someone that you know, that you see, that you don't really have a strong relationship with either way. And we're going to send that loving kindness, that friendliness, that well wish towards them. May you be strong and healthy of body. May you be happy and peaceful of mind. May you be safe and protected from harm. And may your life unfold with ease and joy. Repeating. Imagine them happy, safe, peaceful. And now we're going to bring someone up into our mind with whom we have a little bit of difficulty. Not a lot, not your least favorite person, just someone that creates a little bit of irritation or friction for you. And we're going to send them some loving kindness. May you be strong and healthy of body. May you be happy and peaceful of mind. May you be safe and protected from harm. And may your life unfold with ease and joy. It's very common that we get caught here. There's a conflict within us. So if that's not happening for you, continue to send that loving kindness. Ignore that bell, sorry. Continue to send that loving kindness to that difficult person. But if it is happening for you, if you're feeling caught here, then go back to sending that loving kindness towards yourself. May I find compassion for myself that I'm struggling in this moment. May I be strong and healthy of body. Now we're going to send, our last step is to send this loving kindness to all beings everywhere. Take a deep breath if you need it. If that bell jarred you a little bit, take a couple of deep breaths. And then when you're ready, may all beings be strong and healthy of body. May all beings be happy and peaceful of mind. May all beings be safe and protected from harm. May the lives of all beings unfold with ease and joy. Sometimes I like to imagine someone on the other side of the world, that I'm sending this to them, or that I'm sending it to a polar bear in Antarctica, or at the North Pole, or wherever there are polar bears. And just repeat those phrases. May all beings. Take a moment when you're ready. We're not going to have an ending bell because it went off early. So just open your eyes, come back into your space. Hey guys. So the great thing about that practice is that there's no way to do it wrong. So try not to have any expectation that you all of a sudden are supposed to be Mother Teresa. It's just a practice. It's just sowing the seeds. What I can tell you is that if you do that practice on a regular basis, you will notice a difference. And that difference shows up in different ways for different people. Like I said, for me, it helps me feel more connected, a little less judgy, a little less pokey. But there are, as I said before, numerous benefits. And so if you want more information on that, I'm happy to provide so you can get a little research done or just do your own research. That's what I like about this practice, is that the proof is in the pudding. So hopefully that was beneficial. You can always reach out to me with questions. I think that next week we'll probably go back to a mindfulness practice and maybe do a longer, like a 15-minute sit of mindfulness, because today was a pretty long sit of loving kindness, and just take that with you. Know that it's always there for you. Cool practice. I don't do it so much anymore because I'm inside all the time, but when I was living in New York, sometimes when I was walking to the subway, I would just send a little bit of loving kindness to everybody I passed by. May you be happy. May you be happy. It's amazing what it does to your brain chemistry to do that. So use that as you will, and I can't wait to connect again next week. Thanks, guys.